Time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Theard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you.
Our house in the middle of our street. Something tells you that you've got to move in the middle of.
From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for The Real Estate Connection, Stephen Theard.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of The Real Estate Connection, brought to you by, drumroll please, good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership. Hey, if you guys are thinking about buying or selling in the near future, I know we're coming to the end of the year. It's Thanksgiving time already. We're all giving thanks for the fact that we made it through another year. We still have a roof over our heads, clothes on our back, food in our bellies, and cars to drive. But if you're thinking about making a move real estate related coming in 2022, reach out and give your real estate broker, Stephen Theard, a call at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Give Good Patriot Realty a call. It's a salute to home ownership and the American dream. We're out here trying to protect private property rights for those who own homes and for those who are looking to move. Just, trying to get the most money out of your house as you make that transition, whether it's out of state or to a new place in California or coming into California. If you know people coming into the state, let me know. I'd be love to help them. So with that being said, we're going to get right on into the show. So, the topic of today's podcast is why leave California versus why stay. So, California, if you just say the name of the state all around the country, it's a hot button, right? If you're in Texas and you mention California, woof. If you're in the South and you mention California, woof. If you're in New York and mention California, hey, you might be okay. If you're in Oregon or the West Coast, California has turned into a lightning rod wherever you go in the United States of America. And people are wondering, why do people live in California? Why do they stay? They hear of all the stuff that's going on in our state, high gas prices, high cost of living, the different social policies that people may agree or disagree with. And even for us native Californians who are born here, raised here, grew up here, there comes a time when we start to ask ourselves that question. Should I stay or should I go? So I thought we would cover that topic in today's episode of The Real Estate Connection. If you're living in California, should you stay or should you go? So before we jump into the meat of the issue, if you don't want to miss another episode of The Real Estate Connection, you can either sign up on Podbean, find the Real Estate Connection on Podbean. Just type in that title. You'll find me. You'll see the guy in the cowboy hat. Just click and subscribe, and then you will get notifications every time there's a new podcast. Or if you want to follow me on Apple, just head on over there to Apple Podcasts and type into the business section for podcasts, The Real Estate Connection. You should see that cowboy hat pop up and just sign up and subscribe. And that way you'll get notification every time there's a new episode. Or if you want me to do it for you, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and your email address. And I would be happy to add you to my podcast distribution list. All right. So that's the way it goes. We're living in the world of high tech and we're taking advantage of it for commerce. Oh, if you're watching live on YouTube, smash that like and subscribe button. Just push it on down real hard and just hit that thumbs up button. It helps distribution and that really is helpful for the podcast. So again, big hugs. Big thank yous, thumbs up for you guys joining me on today's episode of The Real Estate Connection. So we're going to jump in this. Why should you stay or why should you go if you're living here in California? Let's look at why you should go first, right? Because these topics come up around the kitchen table, probably going to be talked about around Thanksgiving with family. If you've been around the state for a long time and you own a home and you're thinking about it, right? We complain, right? We complain about stuff to people that we love. And so, cost of living. Cost of living in California is really high. It is just high. If you live here, you know what I'm talking about. Gas prices. Did you ever think that you would be paying $5 a gallon for gasoline? Did you know that California is the only state in the union that charges tax on top of the federal excise tax that's passed along to us at the gas pump? If you go to any other state in the union, you'll either have a state sales tax on your gasoline or the federal excise tax, but not both, and you don't get charged sales tax on top of the tax. It's like this much for fuel costs, this much for excise taxes. We add it all up and then we charge sales tax on all of it. I mean, really, it is a lot of money. And every time gas prices go up, so does everything else because things have to be delivered. Ask the truckers. They put in maybe 100 gallons of fuel into their fuel tank. We're talking about, hundreds and hundreds of dollars to fill up. And the more it costs them to deliver the goods, the more it costs us to pay for the goods. So as gas prices go up, so does the cost of everything else. And that is unique to California. You get outside the state of California and gas prices go down, 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 down. You'll even cross the state line into Nevada or Arizona and you see an immediate difference in the price of gasoline. All right, so what else is expensive here in the state? Utilities. So unfortunately, we've had some fires due to PG&E, and instead of them eating the lawsuit, like a good corporate entity should, right? PG&E got sued for starting fires and burning down all these houses. And then what did they do? They passed along that cost to you, the consumer, me, the consumer, to keep the lights on. You see the bright lights that are on? That's not free. It costs money. And the price is going up, 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 up in California. Now you may be saying, Steven, I'm going to go get me some solar because that's going to bring the price down. Well, if you look into solar, you will see that PG&E is, paying you for you giving money back to the grid. But how long are they going to keep paying you that money? How long? What's the rate on that income that you're getting back? Is it going down? Is it going up? Check it out. Look for yourself. Solar may not be the cost saver that you thought it would be, especially over time as rates change, especially on them paying you for the electricity that you're giving back to the grid. Also, food costs. Food costs are going up. Inflation across the United States has jumped to 5.1%. And when you have high cost of gas and high utility costs on top of the inflation of food, you get kind of a trifecta effect as far as this crashing in on you. And you have to start making decisions. Are you going to go out to eat? Where do you buy your food? Do I buy my food in bulk? Do I travel to go see relatives down south? Can I afford to put all that gas in my tank and travel down there? Is it worth it? Or I'm going to stay close to home. It starts to really affect your day-to-day living. And my friend Ray Ward just said, no lie. I'm going to add that to the screen. No lie. That is correct. So, he distracted me. All right, Ray, I'm going to give you the glockenspiel. All right, back on target. Okay, so with all of that coming together, right? People on fixed incomes, whether they're disabled, maybe they've had an accident on the job, maybe they've been laid off and they're on unemployment, single mothers, people that are, that are working jobs where they're barely making it. Every time the cost of something goes up, we get one more person kicked out of their house into the streets of California. Thus why our homeless keeps going up. We also have the price of real estate climbing through the roof. And that's a double-edged sword, because if you own a home, you're really happy about it because the value of your house is going up. If you're outside of home ownership, it's hard because it's hard to get in. Now, if you work in high tech and you're bringing in $250,000 a year, and your wife is doing the same, plus you're getting stock options and all that stuff, that's middle class, middle income to you, and you're just going to go off and buy a house and then ride the wave like everybody else. But if you're on the outside of high tech in a support service industry where it's not paying the same level of income or wages, then it can be really difficult for you to get into home ownership. So the cost of living goes up. Now, back to where I was heading, and that's for retirees and seniors, right? You're thinking, I'm going to retire. I'm going to be on a 401k, or if you're lucky, you have a pension, and I'm on a fixed income. And as prices start going up and keep rising, especially in the state of California, how long will my retirement savings and my 401k and my pension last me here in California? And do I need to leave the state in order to have a better quality of life for a longer period of time? Because with medical technology, we're all aging a lot longer, okay? People are living into their 80s and 90s a lot more than they used to, especially when you get past the age of 60. Then you've kind of reached this point where I think you're going to keep going versus running into some problems that people run into in middle life with heart issues and things like that. But if you're aging past 55 and into 60, 65, 70, you got to start thinking, am I going to work for the rest of my life, or do I want to slow down? And most of us want to slow down, and that means less money coming in the door. Can you survive here in California? Now, we've been talking just about the cost of living, and we haven't touched the third rail in California, and that's taxes. All right, so California has an income tax. California has a sales tax. California has a property tax. California, you get taxed on the coming and the going, right? And so people are thinking, I got a fixed income, I got to live off this thing, and I'm getting taxed on my fixed income. And so you might be looking into other states like Nevada or Texas or Florida, where there may not be a state income tax, or even some states like Oregon where there's no sales tax. So you're thinking, where am I going to go to make my dollars stretch further? Because I plan on living for a long time and I don't want to be hustling as hard as I am right now. Okay, so what's the last piece in why you might be leaving California? And that is a disagreement in social policy. Now, California is a lightning rod when it comes to social policies. There are people that absolutely love it. They adore everything about what California stands for, from social issues and making laws in this state. And they hold on to it for dear life. They just love, love, love what is going on. However, if you're on the other side of the coin, it seems like your side isn't getting anywhere. It's just the same. You fight and you fight and you try to make change, but nothing's happening. So if you are not happy with the social policies that are going on in the state of California, you may be thinking about leaving. And that might be the icing or the cherry on the cake, right? The icing on the cake or the cherry on top of the sundae, right? That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. However, that's not the full picture. So that's the argument that I hear from most people who are looking to leave the state of California. The cost of living, cost of gas, food, fixed income, hard to retire, taxes, taxes, taxes. And I said it 3 times because you have income, sales, and property. And I may not necessarily agree with the direction that the state is going from a social perspective and social policies. Okay, so why would you want to stay in California? Because there are reasons to stay here. Every argument has 2 sides. If you're fair and honest, you have to say it isn't one-sided with anything. So I'm going to go through that. 1, you were born here. A lot of people were born in California, and this is all they know. All your friends are here, your family's here, the people you travel with are here, the people that you go to church with, work with, your kids, your extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins. Maybe your family has been in the area for multiple generations, and you've helped build the community that you live in. So for small towns like Hollister, Gilroy, San Martin, Morgan Hill, even some parts of San Jose, there are legacy families that have helped build what we know of California today. And so you have rich, deep history and roots here, and it's hard to just pick up and leave and go somewhere else just because it's cheaper. You have to have a compelling reason within your heart, to get up and relocate to another area of the United States where you've never lived before. Maybe you've got family there, a job, all of your kids have moved there because of work, or they've gone to school out of state and settled down there and they've started having children, and so now you have grandchildren, and so you have a compelling reason to leave the state of California. That's really important. Don't discount that. It's super important to know where you're going to live and where you're going to put down roots. And if you've been in a place your whole entire life, you've got deep roots. And it's hard to dig those things up. I don't know if any of you out there pull weeds out of your yard, but sometime when you're pulling that big old weed out and you're pulling on it, it pops and you get just the top of the thing and you got the roots still there. And that could be the same thing when you're moving out of state. You could move, but you could get there and realize your roots are still in California and you're not happy. So you have to be careful about that. Weather. We used to say, that's why I pay such high taxes, because of the weather. The weather in California is phenomenal. You will not find it anywhere in the world, especially in the Bay Area, except for in the south of France. On the equator, you look up Bay Area, you look up the south of France, and you'll see the similar weather patterns in the south of France as you do in California. And you have all sorts of things to do because of the weather here. You can drive a few hours and be in the mountains in the wintertime and go skiing and snowboarding. You could be in the valleys going wine tasting. Or you could be on the coast surfing or boating. Or you could be on a lake out in the valley water skiing or boating. Plus, we just have so many activities, from mountain biking to hiking, to scuba diving to fishing. What else do we have? There's too much to mention. And you have culture here up the wazoo, man. Like, if you want food from any place in the world, you can get it here in California, and it's authentic. Vietnamese pho took off out of Silicon Valley in San Jose and is now all over the United States because of the Vietnamese came here from Vietnam due to communism and settled in San Jose and brought their culinary cuisine with them, and it's all authentic and it's really good. And so you can get Japanese food, Chinese food, sushi, you can get Thai, good old-fashioned American steaks. We grow cows in the Central Valley. And the produce is fresh. I live in the salad bowl of California. And when we want fresh salad, dude, you just go to the grocery store and get a little plastic container of mixed greens. You bring it to your house. It's fresh. Throw it on a plate, put on a few tomatoes, boom, you've got a beautiful salad. You start heading into the Midwest, and that salad's being trucked in, and you're at the grocery store, and you're digging through to try to find a nice fresh head of lettuce doesn't have brown spots on it, and avocados, and artichokes. I mean, we just have some of the best produce in the world, as well as wineries, Paso Robles, we have Napa. Just absolutely amazing. What else? Earning potential in the state of California. If you are at all wanting to tap into high tech, and you're an engineer or you're creative that way, you can either dive into the heart of Silicon Valley and work for massive companies like Apple, Google, Amazon, well, maybe not Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook, or they call it Meta now. I don't even know what that means. Meta. I don't know what that means. Or you could be down in LA doing artistic stuff, either music, dance, acting, or whatever. You could be doing all kinds of stuff in the state of California, and there's massive amounts of earning potential here if you go after it and work hard. And you can start your own business here and try to tap into some of that Silicon Valley money, because there are people here with lots of cash. And if you know what they're looking to buy and what they're wanting to spend money on, you can tap into that. You can make a really good living here in California. The cost of living is high, but so is the income earning potential. When you're talking about people from the high-tech companies that are getting stock options and they're going out and cashing them in and writing a check for $1 million for a house, that's earning potential. You don't get that in Kansas or Missouri, right? You just don't get it. So that's another reason to stay here. Also, education. My last point, education. We have some of the best universities in the world: Stanford, Berkeley, Santa Clara University, UCLA, Santa Barbara. You have the University of California's, the state schools, St. Mary's, the private Catholic schools, University of California at Irvine. And with all of those think tanks where people are learning the latest technology, the latest type of medical device training, you also have a lot of investment money sitting up in Palo Alto called venture capitalists, and they're ready to turn and burn, drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on projects that they think are going to take off. And so there's opportunity here as well. So there's two sides to this coin, right? There's people still fighting to get into California, especially from outside of our country, and people, maybe that are in other countries around the world that don't have the opportunity to make a lot of income really quickly here. You see people coming here from all walks of life, taking advantage of the American dream, which is what good Patriot Realty is a salute to home ownership and the American dream. And I would not be today's show if we didn't say a salute to all the veterans who have served in our U.S. military all over the world. A big, giant round of applause for you, and a thank you for your service. Because that's what the American dream is all about. Freedom in the United States of America, for people to come here from all over the world, immigrating into our country through our immigration system and catching fire into that American dream. It's the one place on earth where you can come here poor as can be and work your tail off and become rich. There are some countries in the world where that's impossible. They keep you down. You can still do this in this country. No matter how divided we are, no matter what our disagreements are, that opportunity to be an American and have freedom to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps still exists here. And it's something to be cherished and loved, and our veterans fight for that. So we want to thank you all for that today. Again, a big, fat, giant round of applause. So that's it for today's show. Again, it's sponsored, the Real Estate Connection, sponsored by Good Patriot Realty, a salute to home ownership. If you're at all thinking about buying or selling in the near future, give your broker, Stephen Theard, a phone call. Ring me up, baby. Give me a phone. Dial the digits, 408-472-0817. Call me or text, or send me an email. info@realestateconnectionradio.com. info@realestateconnectionradio.com. I'll connect you, sign you up for my podcast distribution list, or you can find me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube watching this right now, smash that like button, subscribe. Give me the thumbs up, baby. Give me the thumbs up. Come on, smash it. And if you're watching on Facebook, share it out with your friends, like it. Tell people about me. I'd be happy to help. It's all about service. Just like all you veterans have served the country, I'm here to serve people and their real estate needs. And with that, I want to leave you with this. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. God created everything. Everything good comes from him. So I thank you, Father, for it all, including this podcast, because it's yours. Thank you so much. God bless you all. We will see you next week on another episode of The Real Estate Connection. Have a great Veterans Day. Thank you. See you later.
This has been The Real Estate Connection with Realtor and Certified Probate and Real Estate Specialist Stephen Theard. Licensed Cal BRE number 017000019. For more information on this program, visit realestateconnectionradio.com. To contact Stephen directly, call 408-472-0817 or email info@realestateconnectionradio.com. And be sure to tune in next week at this time for The Real Estate Connection.